Let me guess, you got a YouTube channel, but you haven't seen any traction. In this episode, I'm gonna show you how I grew my sports YouTube channel to over 8 million views and also how I got it monetized. And I'm gonna show you the play-by-play so you can do the same. So I started making fantasy sports content for fun. I actually had another business in a different niche, coaching musicians how to grow their presence on social media. It was doing okay, it was profitable, but the YouTube thing just wasn't happening. I actually had over 130,000 followers across all platforms, but I just couldn't crack the YouTube code. So after growing a profitable coaching business, I started to feel like I wasn't having fun. I had a personal tragedy in my life that led me to really lean in to my fantasy sports content, and it was super therapeutic for me. So I leaned into it because I was having so much fun. And because it was so much fun, it was effortless to create the content. I actually found myself having so much fun. And in the end, out of the blue, the channels started taking off, specifically on TikTok and on YouTube. If you ever had a video take off on social media, you know how this feels. You're all excited about the vanity metrics, you're starting to get followers, and that's what happened on my YouTube channel. And because of that, I leaned into it a little more and started taking it serious. I actually did a bunch of research in different areas to try to figure out how I could grow my YouTube channel. I was already doing social media stuff, so it was easy to kind of implement those strategies into what I was doing. But when I looked on the internet for sports creators who are helping other sports creators grow, it was almost impossible to find any help. So I analyzed, researched, and studied all types of sports channels. I'm talking football, baseball, basketball, all kinds of fantasy sports, just so I can get an idea on what was happening on the social media landscape for creators. After doing all of that research, this is the strategy that I used to get my page to 8 million views and also get my channel monetized. The first thing we did was double down on YouTube Shorts. Oh my goodness, when I tell you there was so much reach available to us because we leaned into an area that YouTube is trying to grow. So I know what you're probably asking yourself, Robin, how many times a day should I post? I mean, we started off posting 3 times a day, but then we cranked it up once we saw some traction. At the height of our growth, we were actually pumping out 5 to 7 YouTube shorts a day. I know that sounds crazy, but when you're cranking out videos that are only 7 to 15 seconds long, it's totally doable. Once we cranked up the output on the YouTube shorts, we created defined content pillars and then we stuck to it for 90 days. It's really important that you commit to a certain amount of time so that way you could give your content time to breathe and kind of process. We even had a bunch of our videos blow up later on. And also, if you're facing any challenges, that gives you time to pivot after the 90-day period. Here are the content pillars that we used to blow up using YouTube Shorts. The first thing we did was repurpose existing viral content. We would take videos that did really well on the internet, like slam dunk videos, NBA plays, all of that good stuff, and then repurpose it on our channel. We would give credit to the original creator, and we will also bring the volume down on the video and add some sounds from the YouTube sound library. Disclaimer, I would not recommend doing this anymore, but I do have a workaround that I'm gonna share with you a little later on in the video. The next content pillar was me doing a talking head video giving tips about fantasy basketball. Whatever sport you're doing, you can give commentary in a talking head style video. It doesn't need to be tips. And the last content pillar, Twitter green screens. When I tell you these videos took off, I would pretty much take a screenshot of an interesting tweet from Twitter, and then I would bring it to YouTube Shorts and run the video as a green screen and give my commentary. To be honest, sometimes I would just let a viral sound kind of run and just do facial expressions, and those videos took off. And I have one bonus tip that we use for our strategy when we grew our channel to 8 million views on YouTube. We used the community tab. We started off with image polls. We would take a picture of, let's say, Ja Morant and Luka Doncic and ask the crowd, hey, who do you think is gonna have a better career? Then we did images with a link to our long form videos. The last community tab posts we tried were quizzes. We would ask people, what's the capital of New York State? And people would answer. You'd be surprised. People love to let people know how smart they are. So we did it. We had multiple million view videos. We also were eligible for the partnership program with YouTube. Things were going great, so we applied for monetization. Remember when I mentioned repurposed content a little earlier on? That's why we were rejected. But as promised, I told you I had a workaround. So after tons of research, I finally found a workaround to repurpose content without getting your channel demonetized. And just for the record, I watched a lot of videos and no one had an answer that worked. I would try all of these things, but I still kept getting shot down month after month. The first thing I had to do was delete the videos that were repurposed videos, which hurt because I lost some of my views in doing that. But I did find a way to create new content around repurposed videos that works just fine for YouTube. What you want to do is take that piece of content that you intend on repurposing and put your image on it and your voice on it. That's it. Since using that strategy, I've seen a couple of my repurposed content videos take off. You can use the videos, but you have to add your own personal flair to it. So there you have it, the play-by-play of how we got 8 million views and we got our YouTube channel monetized. It worked for us and I know it can work for you. You just have to stay diligent. If you need help with social media, please drop your questions. I will respond to every single comment on this episode. I'm Robin Marks and thank you so much for pulling up to the social media locker room.